It's a big difference. It's only 1 point, but this characteristic is something that you won't find in band score 6 and below speakers. This ability without loss of coherence. It means they don't lose the thread of their idea. The meaning is the same. They can convey the meaning at ease. This is the idea. The second point too here, if we go back to the 6s, it says uses a range of connectives and discourse markers, but not always appropriately. So their cohesiveness or their cohesion, how connected is their speech to each other, is not as good as number 7. Here, if you see the point about connectives, uses a range of connectives and discourse markers with flexibility. So they're not sort of stuck. And I think this is the main difference between the Turkish girl we saw yesterday and the Syrian girl I sent you. Mm-hmm. You can clearly see that this is a difference, which is, I think, obvious if we compare them both. And the second point here, which the 7s have and the 6s don't, it says, may demonstrate a little bit of hesitation, yeah, but not as much. So here, yeah, a bit of hesitation. So this, so an examiner can easily tell a 6 from a 7 regarding fluency. Let's see if it's the same thing here with vocab, lexical resource. Okay. This is the main point that most instructors always talk about. Let me mark it. This is one point that if it's not present in your speech, you will not get a 7 in lexical resource. This one. You see it?
Yes.
Idiomatic language, idiomatic vocabulary, style and collocation. So do you get the idea? So this person is able to use idiomatic languages, idiomatic phrases with ease. A band 6 candidate doesn't use any idiomatic language, any idiomatic vocab or expressions.
So you mean you have to use idiomatic?
You should, but it shouldn't be too. I mean, here with 7, even if it's a little inappropriate, it says with some inappropriate choices, even if it's slightly off the idiomatic expression you use, it's okay. You can still get a 7. Of course, for the 8 and 9, you need if you check the 9 point, you see this one.
Yes.
Naturally and accurately. If you really want to get a very high score, your idiomatic expressions need to be natural and accurate. But even if you use them with a slight awkwardness, you will get a 7. A 6 candidate's band 6 band score won't get it. This is the idea. If we go to grammar, grammatical range and accuracy, there's limited flexibility with complex structures for the 6s. Frequent mistakes. Their comprehension is okay, but there are lots of mistakes. Here, okay, there's more flexibility with complex structures, error-free sentences, maybe a few. They can tolerate a few grammatical mistakes. So even with a few grammatical mistakes, you might still get a 7. So it's not, you can see it's not an impossible task to achieve in speaking, I think. Even with a little bit of problems, you can get it. Okay, so let's see here what they mean by pronunciation. Shows all the positive features of 6, but not all the positive features of 8. So let's see the positive features of 6. So mixed control, range of pronunciation features, effective use of these features is not sustained, can generally be understood, mispronunciation, okay, so it's less, I think it's less specific here with pronunciation, but I think what they're talking about is probably how close is your intonation, your syllable stress and your sentence stress, how close is it to the real thing? Do you say laptop rather than laptop? Do you say rhinoceros rather than rhinoceros? These, you know, these little things, they spot them, of course. So they might take these things into consideration. Address versus address, these things. So this is just, I'll send you a copy of this. Let me just send you the link. You can read it in more detail later.
Okay.
So here it is. I'll just send a copy. And let's put it in the chat box. Did it appear in the chat box?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so you can check this at ease. Okay, so this means since we're now familiar with how it goes, let's do, I think we can squeeze in two tests, okay? So let's do two full tests, and let's see you apply all of these rules, okay?
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to zoom out a bit. Okay. So here it says, this is similar, to be honest, similar to the one we did, to the one that the Turkish girl did. It starts the same, the one about presents, about gifts, right? You see it?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So let's start each section. I'm going to zoom in a little more, so this way you can see each section on its own. All right. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. Okay. Hello, my name is Suhaib. I'll be your examiner today. Can you tell me your name, please?
Hello, my name is Aya.
All right. Do you have any ID?
Yes.
So I'm taking your ID now. Thank you. So Aya, can you tell me about yourself?
I'm a medical graduate. I'm currently getting ready to do masters. I'm preparing for my IELTS. Yeah.
Okay. So Aya, I'm going to talk to you today about gifts and giving gifts and receiving gifts. So when do people normally give gifts in your country?
Well, in my country, I think it would be special occasions like in birthday, in weddings, graduations, maybe in Eid, or just visiting a friend. You could give gifts.
Okay. And do you ever take a gift with you when you visit someone in their home?
Yes, I do. Especially if that is a really close person, like would be a cousin or a friend that I hadn't seen in a while, for a long time. I like usually bringing a gift with me.
Why is that?
What? Excuse me?
Why do you take gifts? Why do you take gifts with you when visiting close ones?
I think it resembles how close that person is to me and how I'm really happy of seeing him again or her. And
Okay.
I think, yeah, okay.
When did you last receive a gift?
My last received a gift would be on my birthday. It was last year in December.
And what was the gift?
The gift was a purse. It was from my sister. She actually made it herself. She likes knitting and crochet, so she made it with the colors that I like. So she surprised me with that.
Okay, and do you enjoy looking for gifts for people?
Sometimes I do, and sometimes I don't. It's It's really difficult because especially if you don't know the person or it's the first time you're going to give a gift, so you have to look for you don't know his taste and things. He might like it, he might not like it. So I think that would be the difficult part in looking for gifts. But otherwise, I do enjoy looking for gifts for the close ones, to my family, to my friends. Yes.
Okay, so here I'm going to give you a card, and I'd like you to talk about this topic for 1 to 2 minutes. So don't worry if I cut you off and I tell you to stop. You have about 1 minute to prepare some ideas of what you want to talk about. Do you have something to write?
Yeah, just give me a second.
Yeah, get something to write on.
Okay, yeah, I'm ready.
Are you ready now? Do you have something to write on?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so your 1 minute starts now. Okay, you can start.
Describe something you get new or so last week I learned how to play tennis table, and that was really exciting. My brother, he came over and at our home in the garden, and he said, you've been watching us. I have 2 brothers, so he's always telling me, you're always watching. You have to learn this time. So he said, you've been watching us for a long time. Now it's your turn, and we're going to show you how you can play tennis table. I shared that activity with my 2 brothers. It was really challenging, and it was difficult at the beginning because it's not easy. I'm used to playing the normal tennis, but tennis table is new to me, especially that the area where you're playing is kind of small and it needs a lot of focusing and quick. You need to be really quick. I really enjoyed it. So it was like a nice time with my brother, as brother-sister time. We kind of laughed and joked around while we were playing. So it was a very special moment for me. We don't usually get to meet all the time.
Okay. All right. Would you recommend a friend to learn table tennis?
Yes, certainly. I would. It's really nice, especially if it's you have a garden and open place. Yeah.
Okay. So now I'm going to talk to you more generally about doing new things and learning new things. Why do you think some people like doing new things?
I think it's like to have a new experience in doing things, adventuring, it's quite fun, and doing something different than the usual.
And what problems can people have when they try new things for the first time?
It's usually difficult because you don't know how to do it, so you really need someone to help you with it. It needs a lot of patience, a lot of determination as well.
Okay. Do you think it's best to do new things on your own or with other people?
I think it's to do new things, it would be with someone else. So like they can help you out from their experience and from their point of view. But on your own, that would be something I think you would take a lot of time to get used to it. But when someone actually teaches you something new, it's takes less time.
Okay. And regarding learning new things, do you think, in your opinion, what kinds of things do children learn to do when they are very young?
I think they like to imitate people, especially like their parents, their aunts or their uncles. They like drawing. They like playing around, I think.
And how important do you think these things are for them?
I think it's very important because their personality would be based on what they learn when they're children. So as they grow up, they can if like for instance, if someone was likes drawing and painting and got encouraged, and so like maybe in the future as they grow up, so, might take this as a hobby. I think it's important. It molds the person into what he is in the future.
Okay. What about learning styles? Do you think children and adults learn to do things in the same way?
No, I think it's different because children usually are open up to learning and they do not get bored easily, and like whatever you say, like do something, he'll actually do it because he doesn't know what's like the consequences of it. But adults, I think it's according to their mood, to their free time, maybe their interest in learning something new as well.
Okay. And some people say that it's more important to be able to learn new things now compared to the past. Do you agree or disagree with this statement?
To learn new things now. I think, well, now like we're in the modern era of technology, so it's really important to learn the new things about new electronic gadgets or mobile, or so the life is now depending on it more than it was in the past. Like in the past, people would just go to each other's house and they wouldn't have like the mobile phones, and so you need to learn how to use mobile phones, send text through it. Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. That is the end of the test.
Oh my goodness. I'm like sweating. Please, if you don't put this on your record, okay? Because like I'm like
I'll put it and I'll tag your profile.
Oh no, wait. I think I was running in a race or something.
No, it wasn't as bad
I was
as you
nervous.
think.
I was nervous. It was really bad. I wouldn't practice for anything like this before.
No, it was quite good actually. It was okay. I just wrote down a few things.
Okay.
Okay, so how do we talk about birthdays? Put
Birthday.
birthday in a sentence.
Like, I like
Any sentence.
I like going to birthday parties.
Okay. Let's say you want to give.
I like celebrate. I'm so excited to celebrate my mother's birthday next week.
Okay, and if you want to say that someone gave you a gift, and I want you to try giving a gift to a birthday, what do you say?
Excuse me, what?
So here the idea is I want you to connect birthday with receiving a gift on that day. So what do you say?
Like, I don't know really what you mean, but
okay. Here's an
okay,
easier way.
Okay, I've got a sentence now. Okay, I'm just thinking. At my last birthday party, I received tons of gifts.
What about the start? How did you start the sentence?
What? The start? I said at.
Okay. How do we say? But birthdays are days, right?
Birthdays, yeah.
So how do you speak about days? Let's say you want to talk about Saturday.
On Saturday,
Uh-huh.
I went bowling with my friend.
Okay. So for birthdays, you need to use on.
On, okay.
Yeah. In your answer, you used in.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. So that was one thing, and you also said, what's the preposition we use with happy? For example, I am happy, gap, getting a new gift.
I'm happy that I'm going to get a new gift.
Okay, that's not a preposition, but
I'm happy. No.
Okay, you can choose from one of these prepositions.
Okay.
In, on, about, with, at.
I'm happy about.
Okay, that's it. Okay, so but you used happy of in your answers.
Right. Okay.
And you also what's the adjective of adventure?
Adventurous.
Yes, correct. But you said adventuring.
Okay.
Okay. What about this word? How do we say this word?
Consequences.
Okay, but it was a little off in the exam, but you said it correct. So you really were nervous.
I was nervous.
What about this word?
Gadgets.
Correct. Okay, so you need to relax, because if you're nervous, you're going to ruin it for yourself.
Okay.
Because these are things you know, but you did them a little. They were a bit off. Anyways. Let's see. What would you? How would you grade yourself? Fluency and coherence.
Oh wait. Let's see the chat box you sent to me. Oh no, wait, I can't.
No, I'll tell you what they are. There's fluency and coherence. There is lexical resource, the second one. There's pronunciation in the end. And what's the third one? Grammatical range and accuracy. What do you think?
I think 6.
No. It's
Yeah,
definitely it's above
6.5.
It's above 7 for sure. Okay. But
I didn't use any idiomatics vocabulary.
Yeah, but maybe you won't get. Maybe you'll get 6.5 in lexical resource, because you didn't use lots of expressions either. It was your speech was a bit limited. So maybe with lexical resource you'll get 6.5 maybe, but you might get a 7. I don't know. But let's give you the worst possible marks. Okay.
Okay.
Let's say lexical resource, you have 6.5. For pronunciation, you would definitely get, you might even get an 8 actually, because your pronunciation is clear and it's native.
Yeah, I
like.
appreciate you encouraging me. I know.
No, this is just how it is. This is how they will grade you. So worst case scenario, that you'll get 7.5 with the pronunciation score, because it's good. Grammatical range and accuracy, I didn't hear any. Probably 7.5, I would say. Probably 7.5. If you made it a little more interesting, you could have got 8 maybe. But
What you
7.5.
mean, like my answers to the topic?
Yes, your answers were a little limited. You didn't express different.
I don't have a wide imagination.
You need an imagination, by the way, for speaking. Fluency and coherence also very good. Probably I'd say 7.5. I wouldn't say less. Maybe even 8. I don't know. Probably 8. So if we divide this, we have 7.5 from 7.5. That would be a 15. A 15 and an 8 is 23. 23 and 6.8, 6.5. Let's check our calculator. All right, so we have 15 and 8, which is 23 plus 20. Okay, so 23 plus 6.5 divided by, and you want to divide this by 4. Which is 7.5, because this is more than half, more than a quarter, I mean. You'd get 7.5. Here, keep in mind, we're giving you worst case scenario.
Thank you, Dr. Stu, for your kindness.
No, this isn't kind. You should get better. This is not a good thing. 7.5 is not a good thing for your level. You need an 8 or even more. You should aim for an 8 or even more with your background in English. You shouldn't settle for less. And I think you would have probably answered a lot better than you did if you weren't too nervous. Now, for the next test, we're going to do another one. I need you to
there's another test?
Yeah, there's another one. I need you to calm down a bit and be a little imaginative. Okay, I'll give you an example.
Can I lie?
Of course, you lie. Okay, for example, ask me the first 3 questions here in doing new things.
I ask you, okay.
Yeah.
Dr. Su, why do you think some people like doing new things?
Well, this is a very interesting topic, to be honest, because this is one of the things that psychologists, more than anyone else, like to study and like to find out and do experiments and surveys. I think it probably triggers some kind of a pleasure center in our brain. We feel we've mastered a new skill, maybe accomplished something that we weren't able to do just a few hours ago. I think this sense of reward and this sense of being in control is probably what has pushed civilization throughout the eras. And this is I think the root cause and the source of all this creativity and all kinds of art and technology.
Great explanation. What problems can people have when they try new activities for the first time?
Yes, this is also a very common issue with, I'm sure most people are familiar with this problem. The thing is, whenever someone tries a thing for the first time, it's very similar to the very first time you ride a bike. Your brain is imagining an end result of this activity. It's imagining itself in control, but sometimes the rest of your muscles and the rest of the body is not. It hasn't been trained enough to be able to get to this kind of level of accomplishment. And the first thing that results is a huge sense of frustration, occasionally anger, and you can see it usually with kids playing new video games. They tend to throw the controllers and fight with each other. And this is probably a manifestation of their frustration, of not being able to do it.
That's correct. Do you think it's best to do new things on your own or with other people, and why?
I think it's a bit hard to decide, to be honest. I can't lean one way or another or the other with this question, because I think this depends on too many variables. One of them would be the personality of the person. Another variable would be the thing we have in mind. Are you talking about something solitary, like, for example, chess, or maybe video games, or programming, learning a new programming language on computer programming I'm talking about, or if we're talking about something more of a team sport, a team activity that you need other people with you to do it. So for me personally, I tend to prefer doing things on my own, and then I like to discuss these things with like-minded people and see how they picked up this hobby, how they do it, maybe learn from them. But like I said, it really depends on too many variables to be specific.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Dr.
All right, do you see this kind of thing? They want this. And I didn't use good language, which is, I mean, too complex. It's just you need to discuss
no, but
things
at the
in this
beginning,
way.
like you did, there was like kind of an advanced medical. I was like saying this as Dr. neurologist or something.
No, actually, these you can find tons of topics like this. Even in the IELTS exam, they have these kind of sort of academic topics. They're not over. I mean, they're not over specialized, and these are sort of I don't know. It's kind of general academic knowledge. It's not in the field, if you get what I mean.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you need to.
I'd like to ask about the marking. Are they equally like between part 1, 2, and 3?
I don't know, to be honest, but I think no. I think they mark the whole 3 sections. They mark them according to these 4 descriptors, and they give a descriptor for each. So I don't think they're marked on their own. They mark the overall test, but the descriptors are separate, and then they take the average.
Okay.
All right, so let's do our next one. So be imaginative. Line.
Yeah. Oh God, have mercy. Oh God. Okay.
All right. So where is it?
Just a minute. I need to mute a little bit. Okay. Okay.
All right, so let's skip because by the way, you have to keep in mind they'll always ask you, what do you do? Tell us a little bit about yourself, and you shouldn't make this too short. Give a little more details. Yeah, they always ask this. This is before part 1.
Okay, so you can go like for 2 minutes or 1 minute.
No, maybe 1 minute. You can say, I'm a medical graduate and I'm hoping I'm planning on doing my master degree. I'm not sure what it will be, but it's probably something in surgical.
Nutrition.
Nutrition, surgery.
Yeah.
You can do anything. You just speak whatever you want. Give a little more detail, and I thought this test would be a first step in achieving this goal, hopefully. Do you get the idea?
Yeah, so we're going to skip part 1, right?
Yeah, no. I mean this little intro thing. We're going to skip it, but now we'll get to the core of part 1. Okay, so I'm going to ask you a few questions about telephoning. How often do you make telephone calls?
Not a lot, really. Especially at this time when I'm studying. I don't really make a lot of phone calls, so I'd like to be focused on my reading and studies.
Who do you spend most time talking to on the telephone?
Definitely, it would be my sister. Like we would be chatting for over an hour on the telephone. We were talking about different things, gossiping, and just normal thing, what happened throughout the day. Yeah.
Why do you prefer talking to your sister?
I think she's really close to me. We share a lot of things in common. We were both like raised up in our childhood and in the same place. We have same thinking, same tastes and things. So yeah.
When do you think you'll next make a phone call?
Probably after this lesson is over. I'd really call my sister and tell her about this whole experience of speaking and how difficult it was. Well, how easy it was.
Okay, do you sometimes prefer to send a message instead of telephoning?
Definitely, I would send text messages if I'm really busy in the car. I don't like using my telephone. It would be quite dangerous. I'm not used to it. So yes, I would prefer texting than using a telephone. In similar situations of like driving.
Okay. Okay, so I'm going to give you this card and I'd like you to talk about it for 1 to 2 minutes. You have 1 minute to prepare your ideas. Okay?
Okay.
And your 1 minute starts now. Okay, you can start.
So this journey that I took was by an airplane, and I was going to visit my sister. She's in the UK. It was winter time. It was like snowing, maybe in December, I think, or January. It was snowing, and I was really annoyed because this whole journey got delayed several times before I actually booked it, because I had some issues like exams and tests, and then I graduated. So when I finally got to travel, something happened, and it was like snowing, I think, and it was in London, and the whole flight got delayed. So I had to stay at the airport by myself. I was going to visit my sister. She just had her first baby, and it was we were really excited to see our new niece, new baby in the family. I will never forget that journey, as finally, when we were landing with the airplane, I think there was a turbulence, and everyone was really afraid and screaming, and I was like holding onto the chair really tightly. And then when we just landed, everyone was relieved that this journey was all over, and we were safe.
Okay.
So I think that was, yeah.
All right. How often do you travel by plane?
I travel a lot by plane. I think more than any other kind of way of traveling, like more than using a boat or a train.
Okay. So I'm going to ask you a few questions about travel, daily travel, and international travel. Why do people need to travel every day?
I think people need to travel. Either they have business to do in another country, or that's like if you're traveling by airplane, or they have conferences or meetings. So it'd be essential using airplane to travel to reach like their destination.
What problems can people have when they are on their daily journey, for example, to work or school?
The biggest problem would be if it was rush hour and you were like 5 minutes late. The whole it would be the whole street would be congested with cars, and you might reach later than usual. So yeah, especially if you have an appointment or something, that wouldn't be good.
Some people say that daily journeys like these will not be so common in the future. Do you agree or disagree with this statement?
I don't know. I might disagree with that. I don't think things will change. I think the normal ways of traveling would be like by airplane or by car or by boat. I don't think that they would change in terms of future.
Okay.
So I would disagree.
Mm-hmm. Why? Why do you think these will remain the same?
Because people are used to these ways of traveling. They don't. I think it wouldn't be. They wouldn't put their total confidence in using some new way of traveling. Like some people say that they're going to go to the moon. So I don't know if that's safe for the future. So they would use common ways of traveling.
All right. Regarding international travel, what do you think people can learn from traveling to other countries?
I think people can learn different kinds of cultures, new experiences, new tasting new kinds of foods. Like there be historical places to visit. So it would really be a nice experience. Yes.
Can travel make a positive difference to the economy of a country?
Absolutely. Especially like when that country has it's a safe country to visit. It's no wars. It would really help in the economy. Tourism, people would be visiting new sites around and historical sites in that country. So it would help the economy, definitely.
Do you think a society can benefit if its members have experience of traveling to other countries?
Yes, I think yes. They'd benefit of learning new things. Like I said, each country you travel, they have the special signature dish. So bringing home a new dish, a new way how to cook, like Italian or Spanish, or maybe just Greek. Yeah, so definitely it would have a lot of benefit.
Okay, thank you very much. The test is over.
Okay. I didn't really like this test. I don't know why. I didn't have a lot of answers for it anyway.
Yeah, you need to practice a little more. But at least you got the idea, and this is what matters to me, because the way you are now, you're not using your full potential. This is what's bothering me. Now, if you were a level lower, a lower level student, it wouldn't matter much. But I know this is not your English. You can do better than this.
Sucks. I know it sucks.
Yeah. That's why use these tests. I remember before taking my exam, I recorded, I don't know how many of these. I just did tons and tons, and I keep recording and listening to myself. It was awful at the beginning. It was horrible. I was, who the hell is speaking here? Who's this idiot? Yeah, it's a normal thing, by the way. In the beginning, I did lots of these, and I just kept recording, listening, and each time I find an awkward word, a word which doesn't make sense, something which is off, something which is mispronounced, something which is problems with collocations, in instead of at, instead of instead of these stupid things. It was full of these.
Yeah. I think another reason would be because I don't usually speak English for this long.
That's the thing, yes. Yeah, because
I'm used to speaking Arabic, so maybe it would be like your lesson would be the only time I'm speaking English.
Exactly. It's a second language. Yeah, it's a second language, so it's definitely it doesn't come natural. It's not like speaking your first language. I'm a little more relaxed because I do this for a living, so I'm used to speaking in English a lot. But for other speakers who probably have an English similar to mine, or maybe even better, but they don't use it often, it's a bit difficult to sort of get in touch with the reservoir, sort of use it, if you know what I mean. So this is something you can practice. Also, you need to be a little more colorful. For example, I'll do this one about the journey.
Yeah,
okay?
I'm a colorful person. Yeah, I'm not black or white. Okay.
Yeah, you need to make it a little interesting. So
I have ideas. I have no ideas really.
That's where imagination comes. You need to start imagining. Okay, I'll do this journey thing. Now I'll show you, because you know what's a common obstacle for us Libyan students. It's Libyan candidates, and whenever we're asked a question, because we're so indoctrinated by our Jurassic era schools.
Yeah, Jurassic Park. Okay.
Yeah, Jurassic Park kind of era schools. We're used to, whenever we're answering a question, am I saying the right answer? Is this the right answer? We're thinking factually. But IELTS speaking is not a factual test. You get the idea? It's a language test. Even if you make something absurd, even if you make something that doesn't exist, but linguistically your sentences, your grammar is okay, and your sentences are coherent, even if you're talking something which is not true, nobody's going to fact check you. This is not an academic.
I should have said I went to the space. I used the space rocket to go to the space, and then I was lost in space or something.
Yeah. You can make something up. Yeah, it's okay. And even if you don't want to go even if you don't want to go over the moon with your imagination, you can just you can make it a little. For example, I'll give you this one, the one about the journey. So if I get this one. Well, there are a number of memorable trips throughout my childhood, and many of them which I'm very fond of, and I remember with warmth. But I think one of the journeys which sticks out, and this is the one I'll tell you about, is the first time I took the Channel Tunnel with a friend of mine. This trip was something like no other, because it's just the idea of traveling in a train that's doing almost 100 miles per hour, 20 kilometers underneath the sea level, underwater. This was something very unique. It was something different, and I know that this is not as fast as planes go, and I know this is not an amazing engineering feat by any measure, but still it was something. Whenever I thought about it, it was very, very interesting. This trip, it started when I had a little Euro tour with this friend of mine. So we landed in Madrid and then we traveled to Paris. And after that, we just decided to go to the UK. We, of course, had the option of using budget airlines, and they were widely available, like Ryanair and many other airlines. But we decided on taking the train instead. And I can tell you that I don't regret it at all. I'm very happy we took this journey. I remember one of the highlights was using the bathroom, and I thought it's very strange that someone is using the bathroom in a train underwater. Does this count as going to the bathroom underwater? And I remembered this sort of reminded me of all the times we used to go to the beach and sometimes use the sea as a bathroom, and this always made me laugh whenever I thought about this memory. So this is definitely my favorite journey from all the trips I had from my childhood.
Wow, and that's nice. A nice sense of humor as well.
This is actually mixed. Some of it is true, some of it is not true.
Okay.
No, there's lots of it that's true here. The true part is I did take the Channel Tunnel, but it wasn't with a friend, it was with a cousin. What else? Nice. The rest is almost all true, yes. But the idea is you can just make it a little more interesting and prolong your starts. Don't tackle the question like you have to answer it right now. You have to answer it correctly. No, you don't have to answer it correctly. You could disagree. You could think laterally, think out of the box. For example, with telephone calls, the question about telephone calls, you could say, well, I think the times have changed. I mean, even today, we barely use our SIM cards. Everybody uses WhatsApp, and they use WhatsApp. They call it WhatsApp, and they use Viber and Facebook Messenger. I don't know if you can count these as telephone calls, but if we're talking about the regular telephone, the one we have in mind, especially with the mouthpiece and the line, I think this is extinct by now. So I don't think I make any of these calls. And the next one, who do you spend this time speaking? I think in this age of texting and voice memos, voice recordings, who needs to talk on the telephone? I think for me personally, I only use the telephone during emergencies. If I don't have internet service, or if God forbid, for example, I puncture a tire, or you get the idea. It's just go and try to use the same technique the Spanish guy did, if you remember his answer.
I envy that.
The Spanish guy, he did this in a very interesting way.
I think he was like an actor or something.
I think he just trained for this for a long time, so he's used to it. That's what I think. Yeah. But this is a good way to handle the exam.
Yeah, you need to be really, really relaxed. Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't hear the last part. What did you say?
I said you need to be really relaxed for the exam, especially the speaking part.
Yeah, I think with a little more practice, you shouldn't have a problem with it, because it needs getting used to. You need to let yourself speak, record, and hear. And when you hear your answer, you can always, when you hear yourself speaking, you think, I should have said this, I should have said that, I should have done this better. And then you do the same question again and say that thing that you said, I should have done this, do that. And then hear that. Make sure each time you listen to yourself, this is the trick, by the way, each time you listen to yourself, because when you listen to yourself, you feel like you're examining someone else. And when you're examining someone else, you apply all the rules that you wouldn't have applied when you're the one speaking. It's a bit of a mental trick. I don't know if you get what I mean, but this is the way to crack.
Okay, so about the length of time is okay, or was it less than 2 minutes?
No, with the length it was okay, but it was too full with hesitation and looking for answers. What do you prepare in the 1 minute, by the way, just out of curiosity?
What?
What do you write during the 1 minute where they tell you prepare?
Yeah, I wrote actually. I wrote things like plane, like going to my sister.
Okay, yeah, just
The
headlines.
process, like,
Plane.
yeah.
For example, for the one I just told you, the one about the Channel Tunnel. For me, the notes were train, friend, bathroom, something like this. I would only write these words, and then I sort of just extrapolate. I expand, and I just keep talking on and on, and you should use your doctor teacher skills, because in our job in clinic we talk to people. You have to explain to patients stuff, and also you've had some
Yeah, but
teaching
that's in
experience.
Arabic, not in English.
Yeah, but switch it all to English. This is the idea. And the more you record and listen to yourself, believe me, it feels a lot more natural and less awkward than it does now. Because now it already feels like an exam. You're under the pressure of someone judging you. Nobody likes to be judged. And this is what I'm doing now. I'm judging you. So it's natural that you feel under pressure. It's natural that you feel nervous. Just like the boy who got 6. Because he was still in this teacher-student mentality. Because if you're in this mind frame of teacher-student, and this is the natural one, by the way, because like I said, from all the Jurassic Park indoctrination in our schools, whenever we're asked a question, we revert, psychologically speaking, we revert to this little 10-year-old who was intimidated by the teacher and who would get a smacking at any random time during the lesson. Do you understand? We go back to that little fear, this little. So you need to get out of that, and you need to think of it as a chat with your foreign friend. So you're meeting your friend who's coming from Italy, from Greece, from Ireland. The examiner is your friend, is your foreign friend, and you're making a chat. He's not judging you. You get the idea?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, it needs a little bit of some psychological manipulation. You need to help yourself psychologically. But the first step, like I said, is recording. You need to do lots of these. And I can send you another mock test book, because this one has four exams. But I think even these 4 on their own, if you do them, record and listen,
Rehearsing, yeah, I'll do rehearsing.
And for example, for each test, give it 3 times. For each question, do it in a three time system. So how often do you make telephones? Just answer it and hear yourself. I don't like that part. Let me do the other one, and do it with the correction that you made. And then hear it again. That's okay, but I think I can do this. Let's do it, and do it again. So this means 2 recording, 3 hearing. And the second time you record it, if you feel it's okay, you feel it's something you're comfortable with, go to the next question, and so on.
Okay.
Okay, so this means I think we're done with reading and listening and speaking. I would still advise you to keep doing reading exercises, so you don't forget how they work.
Yeah, I think reading is.
Yeah, you need to do at least say an hour, and if you organize your day to have at least 1 hour minimum, just give yourself this minimum. This has to be IELTS work, and I'm speaking about the 1 hour. I'm not including the lesson time.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so because this 1 hour is going to increase if you want to work on writing, because starting from our next lesson, which is tomorrow, we'll start with writing. Okay.
Okay.
So I think that's all, unless you have a question. Do you have a question?
No, thank you. Just don't publicly put it on. I don't know which one you're going to choose, just the best one.
I'll choose the first part where you messed it up, and
really?
I'll put.
No, okay. I'm gonna get a lot of comments out of this. Okay.
All right, so I'll see you next time, and
Thank you.
You're welcome. And I don't know about Rima, what she's up to, but
It's been a long time actually. I don't know the last time we haven't studied actually together. Just she's moving, I think, into another county or something.
yeah, she mentioned, yeah.
She's really busy. Yeah.
All right, no problem. So we'll meet next time, and if you have any questions till then,
Thank you.
prepare them. Yes, okay.
Yeah.
All right then.
Thank you. Bye bye.
You're welcome. Bye bye.